Welcome back. Recent business failures and job losses in the construction sector are being blamed on government's non or late payments. Government currently owes construction and building industry contractors about 5.5 billion rand. Roy Mnisi, Executive Director at Master Builders South Africa, says this is the main challenge facing the industry. Mnisi is my guest this morning. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning to you.
Yes, the construction industry contributes about 106 million rand to GDP every quarter. What percentage of that makes up government-commissioned projects?
As you will be aware, the government or the state is the biggest procurer of our service as the construction industry, and therefore it is our biggest client as the construction sector. So out of, the percentage that you have mentioned, I will say about 65% of the work that our members are actually carrying out is government work. So it's huge.
So if non-payment is leading to job losses, as you're saying it is,
yes,
and presumably closure of smaller companies. We know that small businesses cannot handle that kind of cash flow hindrance or disruption when
yes,
they're not getting paid on time,
yes,
leading to job losses, businesses closing. What kind of impact are you seeing in the future on that GDP?
If we continue like this, I can tell you without doubt that the industry will collapse. Actually, from just after the hype in 2010, we've been seeing constant decline. Year on year, the construction industry has been going down. And of course, for a variety of reasons, chief amongst those reasons, of course, is late and non-payment of contractors. There are other challenges as well. For example, a sluggish economic growth. We don't see government spending as it used to do in the past. We don't see the private sector's ability to spend increasing. And there are other factors as well, such as lack of protection of contractors, with regard to illegal site invasions. So those are some of the reasons why we find ourselves where we are today. The industry has reached its lowest that we have ever seen as the industry.
What reasons is the government giving for late or non-payment?
There are a variety of reasons that are given. Chief amongst those reasons is bad planning, for example, bad cash flow management, issues of corruption are at play as well. So those are some of the things that have been given to us as the major causes. And of course, consequence management. You will know very well that unless the contract stipulates otherwise, government has got a responsibility to pay contractors within 30 days of receiving a valid invoice. So that is not happening, and we do not see consequence management implemented at a government level to hold officials that are responsible for that accountable. So that's one of the areas that has been mentioned as a concern. We met with the National Treasury since 2016. We've been consistently meeting with them, and these are some of the reasons that they have been able to give to us, which are, by the way, not acceptable to us as the industry.
What recourse is left to contractors if they're facing possible closure of their businesses? They're not being met with valid reasons for why payment is not taking place. Bad planning and corruption, to me, if it was my business, I would
yes,
just say, well, that's unacceptable. Where can they go from there?
There are many things that needs to be done, but quite honestly, we appeal to government. I think we need government to come on board and assist us with this problem. Because, there are a lot of options that you have as a contractor when you don't get paid. But let me give you one or two as an example. One will be to, cancel the contract and claim for specific performance. One will be just, to leave the site. But it's not as simple as that. If you cancel the contract and claim for specific performance, for example, you will have to go to court. And by the time you get a judgment in court, that will be 2-3 years down the line. What happens to, your employees on the ground? And by the way, that's not the end of it. The department may decide to appeal. That's another 2 years. By the time you actually reach there, to get your money, if you're going to get anything, the company has been liquidated at that time, so it will be liquidators that are dealing with that, and a lot of people will have lost their jobs. I'll give you an example. We have got one SMME company member that belongs to one of our associations, employs about 22 employees, and is owed about 11 million. That is as at December last year. I do not know where it is now, but that is a clear example of what is happening. So I've got 22 people that, you put on site and you don't get paid. So what we have got to do, if you leave the site, you will have to tell those people to go home up until you get paid. So that is why we are saying it's actually a biggest concern for us, more especially with regard to loss of employment. Actually, this sector has been the biggest loser of employees in recent times. So that's how bad the situation is.
And pretty much a catch-22 there. We're trying to drive economic growth, but at the same time you cannot try and grow a sector that is not being paid.
That is correct. And if you look at it, this country is battling with unemployment. And this is one of the sector that is contributing about 10% of our total labor force in the country. Both skilled and unskilled, both formal and informal. So there's a huge, actually, loss on unemployment as far as, this sector alone is concerned.
All right, thank you very much for that dire situation in the construction industry. Thanks for speaking to us, Roy Mnisi from Master Builders South Africa. Thanks for your time.